Okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to today's presentation. I would like to congratulate all the women in engineering for our 2023 International Women in Engineering Day. And our theme is Make Safety Sing. We'll be talking on this topic, which is health, safety, and environment is germane to life. My name is Toyo Tola. I'm the Assistant Director of Emerald Energy Institute in the University of Port Harcourt. Okay, so I hope you can all hear me. Please confirm in the chat box. Just say yes, so that I know that I'm not speaking to myself. So we know what health is. Well, for purpose of definition, health is the state of being free from illnesses or injury. And most of us that are most women are usually health conscious. You know, we see a lot of women in the gym these days trying to keep fit. There are a lot of people eating healthy. There are a lot of fit farm, you know, on social media, everybody talking about eating healthy and all of that, because everybody wants to stay free from injuries. Everybody wants to stay free from illness. So health is the state of being free from all of those. And then safety is the condition of being protected from danger, risk, or injury. Most times when we have engineering programs, we usually get a safety brief where they tell us where the muster point is, and if we hear the fire alarm, we should run there, you know, and all of that, because there are different things they tell us about safety. And in most places, in our workplaces, there are a lot of safety signs that help us stay protected from danger. So we see these signs and we are reminded that we need to wear our hard hats, we need to wear our gloves, we need to put on our goggles so that we are not in danger. And then the environment is the surrounding or conditions in which a person or animal or plant lives or operates. And most of our engineering activities are done in environment. Like, I'm a petroleum engineer, and most times we are concerned about the effect of our activities on the environment. So most times in engineering, you want to leave a safe environment even after your operation. And during your operation, you want to ensure that your environment, your surrounding is safe, everyone around you is safe, and you also are safe. So there are different ways that these are being achieved. There are different safe operations that are being, that you are meant to carry out as an engineer. So the terms health, safety, and environment are generally used to explain occupational health and safety, which relates to the prevention of accidents and ill health for employees and those who may be affected by their work. So when you hear health, safety, and environment, all what it means is you're trying to prevent illness, accidents for employees and those that are being affected by their work. So even people in the environment that these engineers are operating on, they are safe and they are not having any harm after the engineering activity has taken place. So HSE is very important in engineering, in the engineering career. If you go to any office, you see a lot of any engineering establishment, you see a lot of HSE signs. And there are several regulations and procedures that are intended to prevent us from being injured in our workplaces or in public environments. So these signs are, there are regulations, and then there are also signs that remind us of these things so that we are doing the right thing and we will be prevented from injury. So engineers are always concerned about safe operations and safe environment. Like the picture I have here, there are different ways of lifting. So at times you see this kind of pictures in your workplace where they are telling you don't lift in this way, lift this way. And what they are trying to do is ensure that you do not get harmed by some of the operations you have to carry out as an engineer. And then there is physical and psychological safety. So most of the signs we see in our workspaces are physical safety signs, where we are being told how to carry out the engineering operations in such a way that we are safe and people around us are safe and our environment is also safe. So physical safety has to do with the absence of harm from a physical object or practices that include a physical object. So most times we have to use tools in our engineering career, which are tools like pliers and hammers and the rest. And with physical safety, we are trying to prevent having physical injuries from all these tools that we need to use, or the physical things that we have to work with. Also, physical safety involves the use of personal protective equipment, and we know what they are, which are the hard hats, the goggle, the safety gloves, our boots. All those are meant to keep us safe during our engineering operations. Then we also have to ensure safe operations. There are at times you find some charts in some operations where they tell you how to go about the operation in a safe way, so that you're not having any hazards around there. Recently, I was talking to students about furnace, and when we're talking about igniting, when you're trying to start the furnace, when you're trying to start the fire, and if you have a failed ignition, there are safety procedures that you have to follow, you know, to bleed the gas that has entered the furnace before you try to ignite again, to prevent a fire explosion. So most times those directives are kept close to such equipment so that no one goes ahead to no one does the wrong thing that can put everybody at risk and jeopardize one's safety. So we are also trying to make sure that we are safe while we are working, and at the same time we are also trying to keep our environment safe. In petroleum engineering, we do a lot of waste disposal. We dispose waste into water, and most times before doing this disposal, we try to treat to make sure that the aquatic life is also safe after we have done that. So in engineering, we are big on safety. We try to make sure that everybody is safe. In fact, there are several physical safety signs and color codes for these safety signs to let us know if these signs are mandatory or the signs symbolize safety or instruction or danger. So some of these color codes are shown here. When you see a blue signs are usually mandatory. That means you must do what the blue sign is telling you to. Prohibition and safety signs are usually red in color, while caution signs are yellow. So it's just giving you a warning that don't do this here, it might cause a safety hazard. And then there are first aid and emergency exit signs, which are usually green. So because I want this to be an interactive session, I have already put some safety signs, which I believe we have seen in different establishments. I would like you to go to the chat box and just write what you think each of these safety signs means. So we have about 1 minute for this activity. So I'm waiting for responses, please. Okay, so I see no heels allowed, caution, no heels allowed for number 1, but nobody has given any response for what number 2, number 3, and number 4 signs mean. So I give us 30 more seconds and we proceed. Are we all here? I see 15 people, but I'm only getting responses from 1 person. Okay. Fire prohibited, fire alert, okay. Fire hazard, good. Okay, I'm waiting for responses from number 3 and 4. I'm sure we see 4 a lot. So 4 is very easy. Okay, so hard hat is mandatory. Fantastic. Good. Then how about number 4? Okay, thank you for your participation. Shows that we have seen a lot of these safety signs around us. So we are still talking about making safety, make safety safe, make safety known, seen, make safety seen. So we'll be proceeding to the other type of safety that was noted in the last slide. So there are, we said physical safety and psychological safety. So physical safety is something we already know because we see the signs all around us. There's so much talk about physical safety all around us. But psychological safety, what is psychological safety? Now, engineering is a very demanding career, very demanding because it consumes so much of our time. We spend long hours at work. At times it requires our physical strength, to tighten bolts and nuts and all of that. So it's a very demanding career. And we are very grateful to most of our organizations that have started making engineering, the culture of engineering, more inclusive. Of recent, most organizations have been trying to support women engineers. They try to project them, they talk about them, they celebrate them, so it's becoming more inclusive, and we are grateful for that. And we're also grateful for our organizations that are making flexible work hours, giving us flexible work hours such that our women are able to, stay on the job while having families. So this is something we need to applaud, that they are thinking of our psychological safety. That is why they are making all these opportunities available to female engineers so that they can be more relaxed at their job. However, there is still some form of bias against women in engineering. At times you go into a room where maybe you're the only female engineer and all of them are guys. Somebody just assumes naturally, it's like an unconscious bias. Someone just assumes that this must be our secretary or the person that is here to serve us tea. They just do not feel like this person must be an engineer. Or at times we are even the ones that put the bias against ourselves from how we treat each other. Maybe you feel you just have this bias over this small, why is this person so young and she's already an engineer? You have this certain way to want to talk to her, to put her down. So all of these are already affecting the psychological safety of these women engineers. Also because it's a male-dominated space. Women try to work so hard to prove themselves amidst their heavy family demands. So while the men can just go ahead and do a few things, and yes, we feel like, yes, we've done well, you see women putting so much on themselves because they just want to prove that we are capable, we deserve this, we own this space. So they do so much, they try to prove themselves. And while at it, people keep telling us that, yes, you're resilient, you're a woman, you can multitask, you can do all of this and much more. And most times we do not know that we need to balance our life. We need to have a work-life balance where we need to be alive first before we are working. So we are working so hard because we want to just prove to the men that, yes, I deserve to be an engineer. Don't look at me based on my gender. I want to be an engineer and I want to be seen. And then some of this hard work that we put into it, the excess work we put into being seen and being heard, can now start affecting our mental health when we do not find a balance. So psychological safety is what is in definition, it allows people to show up to work secure in their belief that their contributions are valued. So as a woman, when your space is psychologically safe, when your workspace is psychologically safe, you feel valued, as you feel your contribution is valued, and that you can also be open and honest without the risk of punishment. So that pressure of, oh, I have to prove myself every time, is no longer there, because you feel, oh yes, I have put in my best and they are seeing it. I don't have to be excessive over this. And then a psychological safe environment encourages, recognizes, and rewards individuals for their contribution and ideas by making individuals feel safe. So in psychological safe environment, you're getting your rewards and recognition for the ideas you come up with. And you can, when we have such this kind of forums, we hear stories about women who maybe when they were going for maternity leave, one kind of comment was made that, you're always having children and all of that. In a psychologically safe environment, such comments are not made, because you're already thinking, how would this comment affect this lady? So that's why we have to have these conversations, because we have, everywhere the safety signs are out there for physical safety. But how about those comments, those things that are said, or those work policies that make us feel unsafe in our work environment? We have to talk about it. Now, to create a psychological safe environment, we need to pause and think about the unconscious bias we have towards women in engineering. So when you see a female in engineering, what are you already thinking? So there are some kind of comments that are made about us, not just female engineering. I was talking to someone who is a scientist, and somebody had told her once that, do you even cook at home with how active you are? Such comments might affect the person's mental health. The person is feeling, why are they talking to me this way? And then when we are not even so active at work, they are also saying, it's because she's female, because she's having so many children, that's why she's not doing as much as she should do. So we need to have this kind of conversation so that people are able to moderate how they speak to us, and not making us feel unsafe at our workplaces. Now, to ensure that our workspace is psychologically safe, we need to have open channels of communication. Make sure that people are able to speak freely and respectfully. Then we should also have policies against workplace bullying and discrimination, and those policies should be clearly stated for all employees to know that it's not allowed to bully people and to discriminate in this particular space. And then we need to learn to show value and appreciation for ideas, because one of the things that I've also seen most times when we have these discussions is that sometimes women come up with great ideas, but you see some other colleagues, maybe a male colleague comes, takes it over and tries to shut the woman down, and for a psychologically safe environment, the policies ensure that whoever came up with the idea is credited for that idea, and it's not being snatched away. And then psychologically safe environment will also give precise information and expectations from the people, because at times you're working and you don't know why your boss feels you haven't done enough. When the expectations are not clearly stated, you don't know what they want, and then you're doing your best in your own way, what you feel is your best, and then they are feeling you haven't done enough. And one other way of enforcing a psychologically safe environment is through mentorship. When if there are mentorship opportunities in your workspace, that can help to ensure that you all are that everyone is psychologically safe and the bullying is not there. I've had mentors I've had mentors in my academic career in University of Port Harcourt, and once in a while my mentor has to step in and try to protect me from some of the things that may have hurt me if I didn't have a mentor. Now, joining communities like APWEN also helps to keep you psychologically safe, because you get to hear experiences of other female engineers and how they were able to cope in certain situation, and that helps you to be able to cope better. And you also get support from communities like APWEN. So for the psychologically safe environment allows honest feedback and high quality human interaction. So most times you don't see all those backbiting, office gossip, and all of that in a psychologically safe environment. Because at times we do it to ourselves, we just gang up and we decide, oh, let's be talking about this person. And while you're doing all of that, it's affecting the person psychologically. Now, there's also zero bullying and zero workplace discrimination in a psychologically safe environment. And then there's trust among employees and the organization. So the employees are willing to give their best because they trust that the organization is keeping them safe, even psychologically. So they want to do their best. And then there's open communication and honesty with each other and the team members. Then team members always feel included. They feel safe to learn. They are willing to learn. They feel safe to contribute and safe to challenge the status quo. So team members are always thinking of new ideas to come up with, because they know even if those ideas do not work well, it won't be, like they won't suffer any repercussion. I mean, any serious repercussion for it, because everybody understands that they had good intentions and they really wanted those ideas to work. So it is very important for us to have psychologically safe environment. We already have physical safety signs all over our workplace that reminds us that we should wear our hard hats, we should put on our gloves, we should do this and do that. So it's about time for us to start having psychologically safe signages everywhere, reminding us that we cannot bully our colleagues, we cannot discriminate, and that we should keep everyone safe. So in conclusion, everyone should feel safe at work, and we should feel safe against hazards, and safe against bullying, safe against discrimination, and making safety seen we should make safety seen by promoting and maintaining excellent physical, mental, and social wellness of women in engineering and all occupations. Thank you for listening, and for the citation. I already sent it to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And drop any comment or say anything